Hello, everyone, and welcome to the random roller coaster review for July of 2024. This time, we will be reviewing Maverick at Cedar Point. So let's just jump right into this. Maverick was the original Blitz coaster built by Intamin. The ride stands at a height of 105 feet, has a top speed of 70 miles an hour, and features a track length of 4,450 feet. The ride has two inversions and features an amazing 95-degree beyond vertical drop. Now, as for the queue, you start by entering under the large Maverick sign, and if the ride is over an hour, you will be in the concrete switchback cattle pen area, where each row is about 15 minutes to get through. If the wait is an hour or less, you walk on a small section of wooden bridge over a small pond near the ride's queue, and enter into a massive covered area full of more switchbacks. There isn't much theming, though you are butted right up to the back of the gift shop, and there are some small windows displaying faux merchandise items. You then climb up a couple flights of stairs into the load station, where two trains at a time are loaded and dispatched. Maverick trains are quite small, but they allow the ride to maintain its amazing pacing. The restraints aren't bad, but they can tighten a little during the ride, and the over-the-shoulder portion features very soft straps that prevent any headbanging during the snappy transitions. The trains consist of 3 cars each, with 2 rows per car, and each feature a different metallic color from bronze to silver to black, with some red accents and the Maverick logo on the front. Now, let's jump into the actual ride experience. After dispatching from the station, the 2 trains advance into the holding area, and the first train advances immediately into the first launch, while the other parks and waits. The train enters the launch and begins ascending. This launch isn't very punchy and acts more like a very quick lift hill. As the train nears the top, the launch cuts off and the train barely coasts over the crest. After cresting, the train dives down the 95-degree drop, delivering amazing ejector airtime. As the track begins to pull out, it whips sharply right and enters a 180-degree right-hand turn, delivering amazing positive Gs and good laterals. The track ascends slightly before whipping from right to left in a 180-degree left-hand turn. These transitions are some of the whippiest I've ever experienced on a coaster. This turn has a similar feeling to the first. The track ascends and whips back right into a 90-degree right turn, delivering more whip and laterals. The track then unbanks and ascends sharply into a camelback airtime hill. This hill delivers a crazy amount of sustained ejector airtime and good positive forces on the entries and exits. After exiting the hill, the track snaps right into a maneuver that has been named the Twisted Horseshoe Roll. This maneuver begins with a 180-degree right-hand turn, and at the end of the turn, the track ascends sharply, and the train executes a very whippy clockwise barrel roll that the train then exits banked left before traversing a swooping 180-degree left-hand turn that dives down to the ground level before pulling back up again and traversing a very whippy counterclockwise barrel roll, where the train exits the roll banked right before diving down to the ground and entering a last 180-degree right turn. All the turns on this element provide good whip and laterals, and the barrel rolls are just great with the amount of whip and a little bit of airtime. After the turn, the train unbanks and pops up, delivering a small, sharp ejector pop, entering a tunnel and some brakes directly underneath the load station. The brakes slow the train to a crawl, which normally kills a ride's pacing, but the next element is more than worth it. As the train creeps forward, lights flash and alarm sounds like a train crossing before the train engages the second launch. The train accelerates from about 1 mile an hour to 70 in about a 350-foot-long tunnel. This launch is one of, if not the punchiest magnetic launches I've ever experienced, and rocketing down that dark tunnel just adds to it. As the train reaches the end of the tunnel, the track banks sharply left and ascends while it turns 90 degrees left, delivering phenomenal whip and positive before the train rockets out of the tunnel and unbanks into a set of trim brakes that slow the ride down some. The track dives down and banks to the right in a swooping 270-degree right-hand turn over a small pond. The train enters another snappy S-bend from right to left, and then turns 90 degrees left while ascending. The track then whips back right and turns riders completely sideways before rocketing behind the track of the first drop. This element is called a strangle dive and features amazing whip and ejector airtime. The track unbanks slightly and turns 90 degrees before ascending into another strangle dive. This one is to the left and banked even sharper than the first. To me, this second strangle dive is the best element on Maverick and one of the best elements on any coaster. The track unbanks and levels out before going through a low-to-the-ground bunny hop that turns right slightly while unbanked, delivering phenomenal laterals and a pop of sustained ejector. The track then ascends and banks right before turning 90 degrees and unbanking into the final brake run, ending with one last good whip. Overall, Maverick is an amazing coaster with some of the snappiest transitions and is honestly just a really fun time. The restraints can staple a little, but not bad, and there's some nice rock formations near some of the whippy transitions that add some good head choppers, and the interaction with the lake, plus the small tunnel scene is a decent amount of theming for the ride. Last year, Maverick ranked at number 21, and that was after 3 years in between riding, and after I just got back from Cedar Point last month, the ride ranks in my second spot overall. But that's all for this time. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time on another adventure.